Boy, I don't think so. Yeah, that one's not taking grease. A while back ago, I discovered that this grease zerk right here on this main pin on the backhoe wasn't taking grease. I had to go out and actually start working with the backhoe anyway, so I just skipped it and now I'm back to it again. But I got a tool I think might actually help fix this. I'm going to show what that is today. I really don't want to pull this pin. It's kind of the main pin that holds up the top half of the boom. I mean, the main pin I believe is the one on the bottom there. It's a little bit beefier and bigger. But I really don't want to pull this pin out just to clean it so I can grease it. So let's get that tool on there and see what happens. The tool I'm talking about is the Lock and Lube Grease Buster. I just got this tool mostly because of this little issue. So this is going to be its inaugural run. It's brand new. I just took it out of the packaging last night. It feels very well made. It's very heavy. And the idea is we're going to put a solvent or a penetrating oil or something inside the body of this thing. Just put it right in there. You don't want to use grease. So when I was looking at this, I thought I wanted to use grease. And you're not going to be able to get all the air out, and the air will compress when you hit it. And that's the idea. You put a penetrating oil or a solvent or something in there. You put the plunger in. It's got some O-rings on it. You put that in there and there's no air, or very little air. And then you just tap the back of it with a hammer. And that's going to force the solvent in through the grease zerk and hopefully dissolve any blockages or anything like that. Allowing it then to take grease. So, enough talking and let's get to using this thing. What I'm going to do today, I actually couldn't find my bottle of penetrating oil, so I'm going to use brake cleaner. So what I have on hand is what I was using to clean off these zerks. I'm just going to fill this guy all the way up. I'm sure someone is going to tell me I'm using it wrong, using the wrong stuff. But before I go and start smacking this thing, I don't like brake cleaner in my eyes. I'm gonna go get some safety glasses. I'll be right back. I've had that happen. It's not fun, and I'm not gonna even risk it anymore. You wear safety glasses. So I'm just gonna get it started in there. I've got the top of the O-ring all the way down. Now we're gonna take this as an overkill hammer apparently. I just grabbed one out of the toolbox. We're just gonna tap it. Apparently the vibrations is what actually helps clog it, the force and the vibrations and everything. And then they say let that sit. So we'll see you back here in about 10-15 minutes.
A few moments later.
Alright, so I just went ahead and greased the entire backhoe while I was waiting for this. Try and pull that off there. It's super tight. Holy crap. There we go. And set that down. I'm going to grab a towel to clean that up. Get in there and soak up all that brake cleaner. They say that if it doesn't work the first time, to repeat it a couple more times, and it should bust it free. But if that's the case, and we're going to do it later. Alright. Boy, it's still super tight. I'm not seeing any grease coming out. Got the Milwaukee here. See if it does any better. I hear something moving. I gave it everything this grease gun has, and it is definitely not free. Grease is not coming out of the pen. Like I said, I don't think I have a replacement zerk. I'm hoping it's just the zerk. I'm gonna pull the zerk out of the pen here and see if it's passing grease. If it's passing grease, then we might try that tool again. Try and get the solvent down inside the pen passages that are plugged up. Pull this zerk out. I'm just gonna hook it into the locking loop here on my hand pump grease gun. It passes grease just fine, so it's not the zerk, it's the pen. In lieu of pulling it out, I'm going to try that tool again. Now I know that the grease zerk will pass fluid. Coming out here. That's loose. Fantastic. I'm gonna get a wrench and tighten that too. You know, like I said, I just pulled this thing out of the packaging. I didn't even think about checking these for how tight they are, and of course I got about a quarter turn on that one. Putting a lot of force and stuff through this tool. You want it tight. Alright. Maybe it was all shooting out the sides. I didn't even see it. I mean, I saw it squirting out, but I don't know where it's coming from. Here we go. Okay. So the video I saw from Lock and Lube, they kind of had the similar situation. It was on the front end loader, and the guy said, you know, you got to bang on it for a little bit. It's the vibrations and the force and that sort of thing. You don't want to go just walloping on it. And he said then you got to let it sit. But his broke free right about the time he said that. And so I let that thing bounce on there. This hammer bounce on there a good while, and it's pretty heavy. I was probably smacking it harder than you're supposed to, but I was also trying to pay attention around here, and I saw a little bit coming out, but not a lot, which tells me that I am forcing some of that solvent in through that into that pen. Maybe just let it sit for a little bit and see if that will clear it out. Sure hope so, because like I say, I really don't want to pull this pen.
A few moments later.
So I've come to the conclusion that I need to pull this pen, and the pen is it needs to be greased, and it's gone way too long without being greased, and I'm worried that we're causing a lot of premature wear on this big pivot point. So grease is so vital in running implements. It acts as a lubricant and a cushion, and it will actually start to waller out the hole on the part itself, you know, the inside this cast here. And when that happens, you can get it sleeved or something like that, but usually you just replace it, and that can be really expensive. And these parts will last forever so long as you keep them greased. The pins, yeah, the pins, sure, they'll wear out. Pins are cheap. You can replace pins all day long. It's the part that the pin goes through that needs to be greased and lubed and preserved for as long as possible. And I'm worried that we're causing a lot of unnecessary wear on this part. So I made the decision that this thing, I don't want to call it a piece of junk. Oh boy, that's on there really good too. There we go. This grease buster by Lock and Lube, I don't want to call it a piece of junk. You know, I've seen it work in videos. It's got really positive reviews, but so far it's Backhoe 1, this guy's 0. I'll probably try and use it on another part if I get another stuck zerk. In fact, I think I actually have one on the front end loader. But for now, let's try and figure out how to pull this pin out. I moved the tractor away from the shop to kind of open up the road right where the camera's sitting. And I'm going to try and figure out, you know, take pressure off this pin, because right now there's pressure on the pin. It's being pinched. So we're going to use the hydraulics on the bucket, or on the backhoe, to try to take the pressure off. We're going to pull this bolt out, and hopefully this pin will come out. We're going to take it into the shop and get it cleaned up real well, and hopefully pass grease through it. And if we can, we'll put it back together again. If we can't, we'll either make a new pin or go buy a new pin, and we'll cross that bridge if we need to. The downrigger's down. Blowing the whole boom. I don't know what it needs in order to be perfectly lined up. So we're going to shut off the tractor now and just try and pull it out. Oh wow, I just noticed this. There's a whole bunch of grease coming out the side of here. Boy! No, it's locked up still. If it is passing grease, it's maybe just a little bit coming out of the side or something. Whew! It's a workout. Squeezing that damn thing. Alright, I want to try and rotate the pin. I'm going to fire up the tractor and try and just move it around a little bit and see what's going to make that pin move. I'm guessing it's going to be more of an up and down motion. I don't think pivoting will do anything. See that it's clear of the bottom part. It's just the top that's holding it now. There we go. There's a grease passage right there. I don't know if you can see that. So grease, that's the only one I'm seeing. So grease goes through there and comes out there and it greases this whole shaft. And I'm not feeling a good ridge. So I'm gonna shut the tractor off and we'll go clean this up, see if we can pass grease through it. Now that's a good sign. Okay, well, that tells me that grease is flowing. So why is it so hard then? We're gonna clean this up. There's dirt and grit on there now. Why is it so hard to pass grease through there? I mean, I should see it squirting out the side like I did over here, but all the way around it, you know, or not all the way around it, but you know, more than that. I mean, that was just this little bit right in this area. It should have been coming out down here as well. And I'm gonna show you what this looks like inside there. Okay, so hopefully you can see this all right. Inside there is kind of like this mesh, and that's a sleeve in this red part. And the black part doesn't have anything, it's super smooth. But that mesh should be the one that's holding the grease and allowing there should be a tolerance around this pin that allows the grease to flow. The fact that grease wasn't coming out the sides was concerning me. We will get it cleaned up and put back together again, hopefully without too much issue. I'm gonna go get this cleaned up and I'll be right back. I got the hole cleaned out. I got the pin cleaned up. And you can really see where the two parts rub. I did not clean out the hole. So you really don't want to have any grit or anything around or on the pin, because that's just going to act like sandpaper, and that's not good. So I'm going to coat this in just a light coating of grease. Squirt some out of my finger there. Gonna move it on there. Uh-oh. The hole's not lined up. It's all the way down, but it's just not lined up. Just gotta turn it a little. There we go. Just to grab the impact. Okay, now I'll see if that'll pass grease. It should. There's nothing blocking it. See it coming out there again. And I do have it coming out here just slightly. At this point, we got the pin back in, we got grease coming through it, and I think we're set to start working. And yeah, thanks for watching. This thing, like I say, it's hit or miss with me so far. We'll see if it works on the next one. It could be, like I said, it could be something I'm doing wrong. It could be just this pin with that mesh in there. Those tolerances might just be so tight that it's just no real space for any more grease. And so what little grease it's got in there is just going to have to be good enough. And that very well could be the absolute case. So, but anyway, I am confident in this pin now, and I'm going to fold this back up, and we're going to go right down the road here and start digging some stumps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.